Hi everyone, and welcome to this Lighthouse watercolor pencil tutorial. What we're going to do is make a simple sketch of a lighthouse on the right, and then the horizon and the sea on the left, with some boats floating around. And as you can see, you can choose different kinds of colors. And for the start, sorry about the cat. For the start, I am using a Staedtler fine liner. Go away. And I start out with the big boulders that are in front of us. And also there's a little wall man-made. And I simply draw in some squiggly lines for the boulders. And this is where my lighthouse is going to be positioned. And I want to advise you to check Google Images and pick up any lighthouse you would like and draw as simple as possible a sketch out of it with the use of as little lines as possible. I've chosen this one. It's a kind of 2 stages high lighthouse with some balustrades and some windows and a little entrance on the right. And I already render in a little bit with the fine liner the darkest spaces. And this is where my horizon will be. And you can see me here drawing in some simple boats, no detail at all, and a little bit of reflection into the sea. And as fine as possible line for the horizon. Well, as I was saying, keep it as simple as possible, because what we want to do here is to try out our color pencils. And I first picked out a light blue, and I'm placing this behind our lighthouse. And because the sky is reflected into the water, I also use it in the seawater itself. Then I take a purple, and I'm going to place this in the sky also. And later on I will discover how these pigments will mingle with each other when I'm going to use the water. Here is a little bit of yellow ochre, and if you're paying close attention, you can see that I am using a kind of movement from the right top to the left bottom. So I get some kind of dynamic in the sky. I also use the purple in the stones and a little bit in the sea, of course. And here I'm using a dark green. I'm putting it in the water in front and a little bit over the purple. And way up on top I'm using a bright blue. I also use it in the front, and it kind of gives an atmospheric perspective. The red I use very little, just for some tiny detail. And this is the wall where our lighthouse is standing on. And you can choose for that a dark brown or mix some colors. But first we're going to have a look what we are getting as a result when we put on the water. Now here, as you can see, the pigments of the watercolor pencils are instantly mixing with each other, and I keep putting in the water in the movement, the same movement as where I was using the pencils themselves, because I do not want to get a flat look in the sky. I want some kind of dynamic feel, and well, I get this result very instantly. By placing in the bright blue on top, you get a feel of a high sky and some clouds. And for the rocks, the big boulders that are in the water, I'm using just water, just trying to mingle them. But I'm making sure that the top of the stones where the light is hitting them are kept white. Here I'm putting in detail for the lighthouse itself. And here you can see underneath that balustrade there is a lot of shadow. So I'm easily putting in water over the pigments. And you can see the light is coming from top left. Now here in front I want a little bit more darkness, so I've taken my color pencil back again, putting in blue and green, and then hitting it with the water again. Here in front I want everything to be quite dark, but I am careful not to get in too dark. And here I'm taking my black watercolor pencil and then wet the brush and then pick up the pigments from the pencil itself. With the black you want to be very, very careful. Too much black will make your drawing really flat, so please be careful with that. And here I'm putting it into the wall a little bit. And I also use it for underneath the rocks and into the water as a kind of reflection. Also here underneath the balustrade there is a lot of shadow going on. So I'm simply putting in a little bit of black over that. Then I take them down and I get some kind of reflection for the quiet water in front. Here a little bit of more detail. And I think the sky is too sweet. So what I will do is put in a little bit of black in the sky. Like there is some nasty weather coming on. So on the left top it's still quite nice weather. But there is something coming, and I simply put in a little bit of black and get that dramatic feel. For the left top I'm using a little bit of yellow, and that is a real nice contrast with the red of the lighthouse. Well, okay, so far this study I would advise you to make a few of them and using different kinds of color just to get that feel. And this is mine, and I've put it into a frame. I've ironed it, made it flat, and then put it in a list in a frame. So I hope your drawing will be a success. Here you can see some other ones that I've done. Hope you enjoyed it, so please give it a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you again in my next tutorial.